So I just want to talk about like the difference between talking therapy and energetically healing yourself. Okay. So I spent 23 years in the system. Okay. I spent 23 years of talking to people, filling out those questionnaires, telling people about what my dad did to me, talking about what my mum didn't give to me, talking about what happened with my brother when I was younger, talking. And honestly, do you know what? It made me really, really ill. How many times did I ever get told, and how does that make me feel? And I had 12 at least counsellors, psychiatrists, psychologists, people that specialised in this, people that specialised in that. And do you know what? Do you know what really healed me? Energetically healing myself is what really helped me. Because I realised that actually the trauma in my body had created energy blocks. And once I realised and found my inner child, then I realised that actually I had trapped energy all in my body. And do you know what helped heal me? EFT, EMDR, and then I created my own way of healing myself. And I use lots of different modalities. I do lots of tapping, I do lots of what's the shape, what's the colour. And I use so many different ways of connecting with my higher self. But you know what? Honestly, I don't have no aches and pains at all. I don't have any problems and any issues because I've removed all the energy that caused the problems that made me ill and sick. And I'll tell you now, even though I wasn't diagnosed, I'm pretty sure I had fibromyalgia back in 2017, 2018, because I was in so much pain in my body all of the time. And I remember constantly everything I did was painful, continuously. Constantly had a dull head and a headache, and I felt completely out of my body all of the time. But do you know what caused all of that? That was all the trapped energy. I had loads of energy up here on my shoulder. My heart was blocked because of what happened with my mum. And whilst it might be great talking to people, it didn't really help me. So I'm just making this video and going, do you reckon there's trapped energy in your body? And that's why you get continuously triggered. Because here's what I know. I know that I used to experience massive panic attacks when my body, which keeps score, all of a sudden started to feel a memory or some energy of what happened to me as a child. I'll give you an example. I used to hate people arguing. Okay, so even if I felt there was any tension in a room, okay, so my parents constantly rowed when I was a kid. Okay, there was loads of like smashing of photos. It was not a very nice environment to grow up in. Okay, so my body remembers here, let's say this score here is 77. Okay, so let's say when my body hits 77 as a score, okay, what happens is when I start to feel confrontation or there are issues or I'm picking up that someone isn't feeling so good, it starts to rise in my body. And then I have a panic attack because my body remembers at 77 that, oh my God, that happened. The panic attack happens for me because I'm like, oh, I'm feeling that again. Okay. And it wasn't until I tapped and was like, okay, cool. What's that? What's coming up there for me? Okay. And when I thought back to, you know, how it felt, okay, in terms of, you know, tapping on myself and, you know, what was it like? You know, what was the belief that created the story? That's when all of a sudden, all of my panic attacks stopped. Because I started releasing the energy and the issues and the problems that was causing me to be sick. And the more that I tapped on myself and the more that I did somatics, the more that I did exercise, the more that I physically screamed or I wrote or I got rid of the anger, I broke up that energy within my body. And now I have nothing wrong with me whatsoever because I've been healing myself so much for 7 years. And yes, it's taken me 7 years, but you know what? I am so glad that I've literally broken down all that trauma and stuff because I can talk about what happened with my dad. I can talk about what happened with my brother. I can talk about what happened with my mum, and I got no feeling inside of my body. And for me, that's because I energetically healed my body because I knew that 23 years of talking to someone, including being sectioned twice, didn't help me. So see what you think. Because I feel like loads of people are waking up to the fact that actually we're ill and we're not very well because we have loads of trapped trauma. We also don't eat the right foods. We also eat stuff that makes us sick massively. So think about that today. Okay, and is this video popping up for you as a, yeah, do I have blocked energy? Do I have problems? Do I have issues that are causing me to get ill? Because I'm just someone saying 23 years in the system versus 7 years working on myself. And by the way, that means that I've looked at all my wounds, my mother, my father wound, my enmeshment, my codependency, my abandonment, my betrayal, my injustice, my imposter syndrome, my inner child and my outer child. And whilst that might sound a lot, I'm amazing and I'm incredible and I feel absolutely fantastic because I actually have healed those specific wounds inside of me rather than talking about my issues and talking about my problems. Anyway, see what you think, but that's what resonates for me. I hope this video helps you. Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.